This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello and welcome back to Movie Battles here on the Flying Cow, where we take the very best in Disney Pixar movie trivia and we put them head to head. I, of course, am your host, the Flying Cow himself, Clay Johnson, and here with me today is the former Movie Battles champion, Nikki the Nova Baldwin. Nikki, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. As you know, I'm obviously quite a Disney fan. Repping another portion of Disney today, but still Disney if you want to get technical.
It's true. It's true. All right. Well, I got to say, it's great to have you here calling this first round tournament match. We have a match between the gentleman, Patrick Hill, and Mr. VHS, Nazario Montenegro. It's sure to be a great match.
Absolutely. Nazario, he's challenged for contender matches. He's challenged for the title. And so I expect amazing things from him. Patrick's had a bit of a hillier road, but he's pulled out like some unexpected knowledge at times. He's gotten it when it's counted. He's come back. He had the second chance match, and like that's where it really counted, and he pulled it through. So you can't ever count anyone out.
Well, and he recently won the first spot in an elimination match to get here. So Patrick, no slouch. So what do you say we go ahead and bring in today's competitors?
I'm ready to meet him.
All right. Introducing first, representing good taste with a record of 2 wins and 5 defeats. His motto is win, lose, always look good. He is the gentleman, Patrick Hill.
Hello.
How are we today, sir?
Doing well. I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to see you and Nikki. Congrats on the reigning champion win. So that's awesome.
Absolutely. So, Patrick, it's great to have you here back in the tournament. How do you feel about your chances today?
You know, I'm here to have fun. We'll see what happens. Life has been busy, so I didn't study up as much as I wanted to, but hopefully my innate Disney knowledge will get me through this
All right.
round.
Sounds good. Well, what do you say we go ahead and introduce your competitor?
Sure.
And his opponent, representing your local video store with a record of 4 wins, 4 defeats, and 2 knockouts. He is a member of the 2022 Elimination Gauntlet Final 5. He is coming soon to home video, Mr. VHS, Nazario Montenegro. Nazario, how are you, sir?
Am I?
I've come to expect that. That's good. So here you are today in the tournament. Last year in the tournament, you were able to get to the second round. So what do you think your chances are today of repeating that and possibly even going farther?
Well, my plans last season were to win the tournament. But then there was Kelly.
There was Kelly. Yeah.
This year there's no Kelly.
There's no Kelly.
Let's win the tournament.
Let's do it. All right. Well, we got to start somewhere. So let's go ahead and bring in Patrick back in here. All right. And we are going to go ahead and get things started with the reading of the rules for round number 1. In round number 1, 8 questions from random categories will be given to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write each answer. Answers must be spoken aloud when revealing your response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all 8 questions correct, they will have a perfect round and receive a 1-point bonus question. Competitors may also have 3 repeats that they can use at any time. If at any time you want to hear a question again, or you just need a little more time, use your repeat. You also have a challenge. If you disagree with a ruling, use your challenge. If your challenge is upheld, you will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. Are competitors ready?
Ready.
Nikki, are you ready?
I'm feeling quite marvelous. I am very much ready.
All right, well then I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for a movie battle. Action begin. And we will start in round number 1 with question number 1 in the category of early classics and classics. These are, of course, the films of mostly the 30s through the 50s. And your question: which of these is not a character in Lady and the Tramp? Peg, Joe, Francis. Are you a big fan of Lady and the Tramp, Nikki?
I have fond memories of watching it as a kid. Obviously not as big on the cats, but otherwise, I mean, there's a lot of solid aspects to it.
Sure.
And obviously has a very iconic scene with pasta, and pasta is wonderful.
2-1, absolutely it is. All right, Patrick, we're starting with you, sir.
I do not believe there was a Joe in Lady and the Tramp.
Joe is incorrect. Nazario.
But we both screwed up because I also said Joe.
There is a Joe. He is actually Tony's employee. At the restaurant, we are looking for Francis. Francis is not a
because
character
Peg
in the
definitely
film.
is in the movie.
All right, so both competitors missing the first question, so we'll be moving on to question number 2.
All right, your second question in the realm of the Renaissance, mostly the 90s. In Aladdin, what is the first mode of transportation Abu was turned into? I have very, very fond opinions of Aladdin personally. I'm also biased because I've seen the musical live and it's wonderful.
Well, there you go. That definitely helps. Yeah, definitely a fun film and a fun musical. Although from what I've heard, depending on which version you saw, there are like 5 million different scenes that you might have seen and might not have.
Oh God, yes.
4, 3, 2, and 1.
So we are starting with Nazario.
The camel?
A camel is correct. And Patrick.
Also a camel. Well,
Nice.
Out,
So
they
we're
spit.
They're 1-1 so far. It's tied up.
All right, very good. Going into question number 3 in the category of dark times, films of the 2000s. And your question: you will find the voices of Joan Cusack, Steve Zahn, and Gary Marshall in which film? The dark times films, some interesting things. Recently had on our reigning champion to talk about some of the dark times films on Discussions. So some interesting things going on over there. You should check that out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, very interesting selection. That's all I'm going to say.
3, 2, and 1. All right, and Patrick.
I put Chicken Little.
Chicken Little is correct, and Nazario.
Chicken Little.
Chicken Little. Chicken Little is actually the film that Caleb and I discussed. So quite an interesting conversation.
I would assume so, yes. All right. So the fourth question in, I don't know how I feel about this category.
I was about to say, this feels like it was meant to be.
Pixar. In the category of Pixar, you will find a whale Purple Shells, and Sigourney Weaver in which film? I know I don't have to talk about what I think about this category, but actually, maybe I'll date this a little bit. I got the updated character encyclopedia today because it just came out on Tuesday. So I'm excited for that.
So it's gonna the ones from the most recent films. Good
up to
stuff.
Lightyear, so it'll be relevant until Elemental comes out.
Yeah. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, starting with Nazario.
Finding Dory.
That is correct. And Patrick.
I put Finding Nemo.
Ooh, that's tough.
I
That's
do
so
not
tough.
believe Sigourney Weaver was in Finding Nemo, but
No.
I could see the confusion. Absolutely. All right, so Nazario now has a 1-point lead, 3-2, going into the 5th question in this round. The category of hybrid and Muppets. These are, of course, live action animation combinations and Muppets films. And your question: what is the name of the strange furry Muppet with a love of chickens?
To be fair, strange would describe a lot of them, but the rest of it does narrow it down.
That's why there were a lot more descriptors than just strange. Because that's true. Yeah, we could have quite a few challenges if I wasn't more descriptive in 5.
Name the normal one. That's the challenge.
2, 1. I think Kermit is the closest, but he's also a little odd. All right, so we're going with Patrick first.
Gonzo.
It is Gonzo. And Nazario.
I believe his full name is Gonzo the Great.
Gonzo the Great is also acceptable. Absolutely. All right. Nazario still with a 1-point lead going into the next question.
All right. For your 6th question, in the category of Decline Wilderness, these are the movies from the 60s to the 80s. The character Big Mama can be found in which Disney animated film? I don't know if there's anyone I would call. No one besides my own mom or.
Would you call
relative
Big
I would
Mama?
call-
Yeah. That's not exactly a term you just throw around. I mean, unless of course you're in a Martin Lawrence film, and then I guess all bets are
That's
off.
fair.
Yeah.
And apparently there's 3 of them, which I didn't know until recently.
Yeah, I knew about the second one, but the third I don't think many people talk about. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, starting with Nazario.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody loves like father, like son. The Fox and the Hound.
Fair enough, and that is correct. So right on 2 counts. Patrick.
I also said Fox and the Hound.
Very nice.
Awesome. Patrick's down 1, but he's keeping it really close.
He is keeping it tight, 5-4, going into the next question in this round. Everyone's favorite category, package films.
Ugh.
These are, of course, the short collections of the 40s. And your question: dancing teenagers, lovelorn hats, and a singing whale can all be found in which package film? Like how I've switched up the verbiage of some of these questions.
Honestly, if this wasn't package films and before we got to Will, I was like, could that be Newsies?
I currently not eligible in the in movie battles, but not a bad idea if you don't know what films are eligible. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and Patrick.
I'm gonna say Melody Time.
That is incorrect. Nazario.
Make mine music.
Is Make Mine Music. Patrick just picked one of the ones that had a lot of them in there.
Right?
Just took a shot. Just
Went with
the wrong
that. It was a
one.
50-50 between that one and that one.
All right. So we are now going to our final question in this round. There are no perfect rounds in this match, but Nazario does have a 2-point lead. Let's see if he can increase that lead with this final question.
All right. Your last question in this round, in the category of the CG Revolution, which are the films of the 2010s to the present. In Wreck-It Ralph, the villainous King Candy is played by which prolific voice actor? I'm quite fond of this movie.
Yeah, I know this is. You obviously love Pixar, but I think this is your favorite Disney film, right?
Hot take, but yes, favorite animated Disney film, and in my personal top 10 all time.
Oh,
I
well,
surprised myself with it.
All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right.
Nazario, starting with you.
Alan Tudyk.
That is correct.
Thank God.
And Patrick.
Yes, Alan Tudyk.
That is
You know how many times I've gotten stuff wrong because it's about him?
When in doubt.
I've
change
actually studied up on that person.
Oh, wow. All right. So at the end of round number 1, Nazario currently leads by 2, 5-7, going into the second round. But it is still anyone's game. So let's go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 2. In round number 2, each competitor will spin the wheel up to 2 times. If you do not like your first spin, you can choose to spin again. However, if you land on opponent's choice, you are stuck with that. Competitors will get 4 questions from their category. Questions in this round are worth 2 points. Multiple choice is available. However, if you use it, the value of the question drops to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal if a competitor gives an incorrect response. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. All right, so we are going to go ahead. Nazario, you have the choice because you were in the lead. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Patrick?
Let's defer.
All right, we are going to defer to Patrick. So I'm going to bring up the wheel for Patrick. Patrick, can you see the wheel, sir?
I can.
All right, then Patrick, this spin is yours. And we have landed on the category of villains. Patrick, would you like to keep this, or would you like to spin again?
I'll keep it.
All right, so Patrick has opted to keep the category of villains. So we are going to go ahead and pull up 4 questions in the category of villains. And Patrick, I am going to be reading these questions to you. All right. So Patrick, your first question in the category of villains. In the Toy Story franchise, what is the name of Potato Head's villainous alter ego?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is. And your options there. Is it A, Bad Spud, B, Tater Bill, C, One-Eyed Bart, or D, French Fried Frank?
I don't have to write it down. I think it's C.
C,
One-Eyed Bart.
One-Eyed Bart is correct for 1 point. All right, so Patrick now within 1 of Nazario, going into the next question. In which Disney animated film is the main antagonist also a princess?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is. And your options there. Is it A, The Little Mermaid? B, Frozen? C, Sleeping Beauty? Or D, Raya and the Last Dragon?
Wow. Definition of antagonist. I'm going to
Someone who
say
is against the hero, working against the hero.
yeah. I'm going to say A, Little Mermaid.
A Little Mermaid is incorrect. So, Nazario, we are going to go to you. Your opportunity to steal. In which Disney animated film is the main antagonist also a princess? Is it A, The Little Mermaid? B, Frozen? C, Sleeping Beauty? Or D, Raya and the Last Dragon?
I'll be honest, that is an awesome question, and I wouldn't have come up with it unless I heard the options. So it is Raya and the Last Dragon.
It is Raya and the Last Dragon.
I should have just went with the one I didn't know.
Yeah, Princess Namari is the running antagonist through the majority of that film. So that is a 1-point steal for Nazario. All right. So Nazario is now up by 2, but Patrick can still catch him with a 2-point answer in one of the next 2 questions. Who played the villainous Tex Richmond in The Muppets?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is, and your options there. Is it A, J.K. Simmons? B, Chris Cooper? C, Bryan Cranston? Or D, Bruce Campbell?
It was Chris Cooper.
It was Chris Cooper for 1 point. So once again, Patrick edges up by 1. Let's see if he can take that lead with this final question. In Pete's Dragon, what is the name of Dr. Terminus's assistant, played by Oscar winner Red Buttons?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice it is. And your options there. Is it A, Hoagie? B, Lampy? C, Petey? Or D, Beefy?
Lampy?
Lampy is incorrect. So, Nazario, we are coming to you once again for the steal. Your question for the steal. In Pete's Dragon, what is the name of Dr. Terminus's assistant, played by Oscar winner Red Buttons? Is it A, Hoagie? B, Lampy? C, Petey? Or D, Beefy?
Okay, D?
D, Beefy is also incorrect. We were looking for Hoagie. Yes.
I love that movie. I hadn't seen it in a while.
The
though.
names in that film are rather ridiculous. All right. So at the end of Patrick's round number 2, he is down by 1 to Nazario, but Nazario has yet to spin the wheel. So we will have to see. Perhaps he'll get something Patrick can steal. Let's see.
Is Tex Richmond.
All right. Nazario, can you see the wheel?
Yeah.
All right, then here's your spin. Looking for something good, something strong for Nazario. And he has landed on package films, which I think is the first time he's done that. Nazario, would you like to keep it or spin again?
I'm keeping it. I put it on the wheel.
Thank you. All right. So Nazario is going to keep package films. So we are going to pull up 4 questions in the category of package films. And these questions, Nazario, are going to be asked to you by none other than the former champ herself, Nikki the Nova Baldwin.
Ooh, I would say it's a bold move to admit that, but I'm quite guilty of that myself, so I can't judge. Anyway, Nazario, your very first question in round number 2 in the category of package films. In Melody Time's Blame It on the Samba segment, Donald Duck dances with musician Edith Smith. What musical instrument is she playing?
I thought you were going to ask me about the Iraq one bird. Okay, multiple choice.
Alrighty. And your multiple choice options are, is it A, guitar, B, organ, C, trumpet, or D, double bass?
Guitar?
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. So Patrick, I'm going to read you the question and the multiple choice options for a potential 1-point steal. In Melody Time's Blame It on the Samba segment, Donald Duck dances with musician Edith Smith. What musical instrument is she playing? Your options are A, guitar, B, organ, C, trumpet, or D, double bass.
I'm gonna say, man, I would have said guitar. I'm gonna say double bass.
Unfortunately, that is also incorrect. The answer, what we would have accepted, would be organ or piano.
Yeah, she was playing the organ. All right, so moving on now to the next question. No movement yet.
All right, for your second question, Nazario. At the end of the Wind in the Willows segment of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, what new mania obsession has Toad developed?
Airplanes.
That is correct for 2 points.
Nice.
All right, tough category, but he's pulling it out. All right, for your third question. What number of Disney animated release is The Three Caballeros? And you're gonna have 20 seconds for this.
Seven.
That is also correct for 2 points.
Nice.
All righty. And for your final question in round number 2 in package films, what animal does the giant suggest he turn into instead of a fly in Mickey and the Beanstalk segment of Fun and Fancy Free?
A bunny rabbit.
We'll accept that. Pink bunny or rabbit for 2 points.
Absolutely. All right. So after a strong showing in round number 2, Nazario currently leads by 7. The score is 14-7. So still anyone's match, but Patrick has quite an uphill battle ahead of him. So let's go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 3. All right, in round number 3, competitors will choose 3 numbers ranging from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will receive 3 questions. Questions in this round are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. Nazario, you are currently in the lead, so you get to choose your 3 numbers first. What sounds good, sir?
One.
Okay.
2.
Uh-huh.
3.
Very nice. We're
I'm
all
shocked.
surprised.
I'm flabbergasted.
And Patrick, your 3 numbers, sir.
Going to do 8,
Mhm.
16,
Okay.
and 20.
And 20. Yes. I think Patrick's just happy that you didn't take 8 from him, as many
Yep,
of his competitors.
That's all I care about.
Like I said, Nazario is currently in the lead by 7. So in order to avoid the TKO and push this back to Nazario, Patrick is going to have to answer some questions. So we are going to start with his 2-point question. Patrick, you chose number 8, and that relates to the category of the Muppets. All right. And your question for 2 points. In the Muppet movie, in what location does Kermit meet the Hollywood agent?
I don't get multiple choice, do I?
You do not. But you do have 3 repeats. You haven't used any yet in 5.
Repeat, please.
4. All right, that is your first one. Okay. In the category of the Muppets for 2 points, in the Muppet movie, in what location does Kermit meet the Hollywood agent?
I'm gonna just guess the Grauman's Chinese Theater.
That is incorrect. We were looking for the swamp.
Sure.
Swamp. All right. So, missed that one. That's all right. But Patrick is going to have to get the next 2 correct in order to push it to Nazario. All right. So we are going to now go to his 3-point question. You chose number 16. And that relates to the category of directors. Okay? Like I said, if Patrick gets this correct, then we will continue asking questions. However, if he misses, Nazario will win by TKO. And your question for 3 points in the category of directors. Who directed Turning Red?
Oh. Can you repeat, please?
That is your second repeat. Your question for 3 points in directors. Who directed
I don't know her.
Turning Red?
I don't know.
For no guess. 2, 1.
Oh.
And your winner by TKO, Mr. VHS, Nazario Montenegro. We were looking for Domi Shi. Domi Shi, the first woman to fully direct a Pixar film.
And Oscar winning.
Oh,
Val.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, congratulations, guys. We will bring you guys back in just a second for interviews. All right. Well, Nikki, that was quite the match, quite exciting to see this. And I mean, Patrick stayed close with Nazario for the longest time. It was just, he had enough of a deficit after round 2, and just those third round questions wasn't able to answer back.
And honestly, I mean, he was never like so far off the track. I mean, in round one, like even what he didn't get, like he was close, like Finding
Yeah.
Nemo, Finding Dory, and then Nazario, like first question of a wheel slice, he admits he picked, he misses. So it was tighter, like it was pretty tight, like all the way through. Just it's just those darn round three questions where they get, especially when it gets into specific movies like that, it can be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and I think those steals didn't give Patrick and do Patrick any favors either. But what do you say we go ahead and throw it over to our post-match interviews? And here we have unfortunately the person who came out on the short end of today's match, the gentleman, Patrick Hill. Unfortunately, Patrick, has become your typical place to be in these matches. But I gotta say, you always impress. You always pull out some knowledge that I think a lot of people wouldn't expect you to have. You come up a little short, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, when you get package films and you're an expert on package films like Nazario, he literally picked that slice, and I was like, who is this kid that picked this slice?
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I'm super, you know, proud of him. Like, I wouldn't have even remotely known some of the, like, even if he didn't get it right, I wasn't going to get it right. So, and, you know, getting them without multiple choice, I just didn't think that there was any hope. But again, I love learning. So it was fun.
Yeah, and like I said, you seem to do better every time. You know, looking at the match though, you were so neck and neck with him in round one. You only missed 2 more questions than he did. And as Nikki pointed out, you were close in a lot of those, just on the wrong end of them. But then in your second round, you ended up having to go down to multiple choice for all of those. Were those villains questions just a little harder than you anticipated?
Yeah, like having to think back on Pete's Dragon was a lot, you know. It's just the way that they come out, you know.
Yeah, if you had it to do over, would you have spun again, or do you think
maybe I might have spun again thinking about it? Sure. But
then again, you might have spun package
again.
Films.
I may have gotten package films. One day I just need to sit down and rewatch them all. I used to own them on VHS, but it's been a hot minute. So
there you go. Well, like I said, Patrick, it's always great to have you here. And while you are unfortunately out of the tournament, we've still got some other things coming up, you know, next season, and you know, maybe you might make a match in Blowout. Who knows? We'll just have to see.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
No problem, sir. We'll see you later.
Bye.
And here we have today's winner, Mr. VHS Nazario Montenegro, moving on to round number 2 in this tournament for the 2nd year in a row. How are you feeling about your victory today here, Nazario?
Pretty aight.
Yeah. I mean, you know, number one, you've increased your number of TKOs. You now have 3 to your name. You also are now no longer 500. You keep getting ahead and then getting pulled back down, getting ahead and getting pulled back down. But you are once again, you got 5 wins, 4 losses. All we got to do is break that trend and also break the cycle from last year and win round number 2. So, I mean, like I said, you did great in today's match. We don't know who your opponent might be. And honestly, that match is all over the place. So we will just have to see who comes out of that one. But how are you feeling? First of all, how are you feeling about your victory today? And then how do you feel about your chances going forward? All right. Very good. So, you know, Obviously, you did very well in round number one, only missed one question in
Characters,
round number
man.
one.
It's always damn characters. I
Yeah.
probably should study that, but I don't
might
want to.
help. It might help. But you know, then in round number two, you only missed the first question in yours, but because you were able to pick up a steal from Patrick, that helped you out quite a bit. And unfortunately, like I said, he had gone to multiple choice. You just went straight for all of yours and were able to pick up 6 points because of that, on top of the one you'd stolen from him. 7 in round number one, 7 in round number two. You ended up doubling his score by the end of that. So I mean, obviously you've been putting package films on the wheel since you first got here, and you finally got it. So how happy were you to get that, and were you at all thrown off after missing that first question?
Actually, a little bit. You keep finding the things I don't know about package films. Last time I lost on a package film question.
You did.
And then I missed the first one. I'm like, huh.
It seems to
Maybe
be the
this was a
musicians.
mistake.
The musicians.
Yes.
You don't know the musicians. You
Yes,
might want to study that.
My secret weakness. Don't make it public. Thank you.
Well,
So,
I mean, it's not that hard to figure out.
but I will rewatch them now, and then get back. By the way, congrats on having a Patreon account.
Thank you.
I have a question, because
Yes.
I have a Patreon account.
Oh, okay.
And nobody joins it.
Oh.
Do you think the problem is that my tiers are too specific? Because I do have a $2,500 a month tier, but I also have a $2 a month tier. Yeah.
Are those your only 2 tiers?
No. There's a lot of tiers.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, mine just started. So I don't have a lot on there yet either, but
if you have one,
crossed.
You have more than me.
I do have at least one. I do have at least one.
Congrats.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Nazario, like I said, good luck in round number 2. Whoever your opponent might be, we will just have to see. And, good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there you have it, Nikki. Like I said, great competitors, hard-fought match, but Nazario is indeed moving on to round number 2. To face who? We don't know.
We don't know, but we know he has quite the storied history with being really competitive in this league. He's made it near the top so many times. So this was, I admire what Patrick did in this match, but at the same time, this is also not a surprising result for Nazario because of the skill we know he has, and I expect him to bring that into his next match.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like I said, this is the end of this match today. We want to thank you guys for watching. We've got a lot more tournament matches coming up. We're just in the first round. We're just getting started. It's just going to get better from here. But I do want to remind everyone to like, subscribe, share the video, let people know what you like about us. Also, don't forget, we've got a lot of other output on the Flying Cow podcast channel. We've got discussions, Nostalgia Cow, lots of different things for you to check out. Also, don't forget our new Patreon, patreon.com/the Flying Cow. We've got a lot of great benefits over there for all of our stuff, including movie battles. So I encourage you to check it out. And as always, in order to see everything we got coming up, you got to stay here. You got to stay watching. And as always, move.
Moo.